The results that people are looking for are called into question when you tell blatant lies, not embellishments. And this is, I think, one of the biggest concerns, Congressman-elect, is that you don't really seem to be taking this seriously. You've apologized. You said you've made mistakes, but you've outright lied. A lie is not an embellishment on a resume. You said you worked at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, but they've said, we've got no record of this guy working for us. You've said you've gone to and graduated from these universities, but they've said, well, we've got no record of that. These are blatant lies, and it calls into question how your constituents and the American people can believe anything that you may say when you are standing on the floor of the House of Representatives.
That was Fox News host Tulsi Gabbard, dragging New York's newest Republican congressman-elect for lying about, well, basically everything in his life. George Santos lied to voters about where he worked, where he went to school, his faith, and even falsely claimed to be openly gay while married to a woman. And now a Republican district attorney is ready to begin investigating Santos for fraud.
So this just in, Republican District Attorney for Nassau County, New York, has opened an investigation into GOP Congressman-elect George Santos after he admitted lying about his work experience and educational background. DA Ann Donnelly stating the numerous fabrications and inconsistencies associated with Congressman-elect Santos are nothing short of stunning. The residents of Nassau County and other parts of the 3rd District must have an honest and an accountable representative in Congress. No one is above the law, and if a crime was committed in this county, we will prosecute it.
That's right. Congressman-elect George Santos has lied so much and so frequently about so many things that even Republicans are prepared to investigate him and potentially refuse to seat him when the new congressional term begins next month. But let's be clear, this isn't just about Santos lying on his resume. As it turns out, George Santos has been lying about a lot of things. Santos lied about his home address on FEC documents. He lied to the FEC when he claimed rental properties that may not actually exist. He also failed to disclose a $700,000 loan he made to his campaign, and also appears to have lied about a pet rescue charity that he was involved with that also doesn't seem to exist. Some of these are crimes on their own, like Santos's huge loans, but taken together, they form a pattern of deception that is almost unprecedented in modern political history. And that Republican DA in Long Island isn't the only prosecutor with questions for Santos. On Wednesday, federal prosecutors in Brooklyn also opened an investigation into Santos's shady financial dealing. But there's still one Republican willing to excuse all of George Santos's lies and potential crimes: Kevin McCarthy, the guy who very badly wants to be the next Speaker of the House. Here's McCarthy last month, praising George Santos as being part of the largest Republican Jewish caucus in 24 years. There's just one problem. George Santos, by his own admission, isn't actually Jewish.
But I really want to talk about who's the makeup of this new majority. You heard from some of all already. You know, with Max Miller in Ohio, George Santos in New York, and you had David Kustoff from Tennessee get reelected. He introduced them. Do you realize we have the largest Republican Jewish caucus in more than 24 years? Not bad, huh?
As Bloomberg reports, Kevin McCarthy is willing to go easy on Santos because, in the end, Santos's vote may be the one that actually makes McCarthy Speaker. You see, old Kevin is still about 5 votes short of what he needs to actually be elected Speaker, and he's willing to make any deals necessary with anyone to get there, including letting Santos's crimes slide. But Santos will need to get to Washington first, and with investigations mounting into both his lies and his potential crimes, it's not even certain Republicans will have the support to seat their newest liar. Here's Norm Eisen.
He lied about his jobs. He lied about his family being in the Holocaust. That was particularly offensive to me as the child of Holocaust survivors. What an insult. But when you lie about over $700,000, if he did, and you file forms with Congress and with the Federal Election Commission If those numbers also have any element of fabrication to them, yes, there are potential federal crimes. There are state crimes, I think, and there is the House Ethics Committee.
And set aside the fact that we can't even be sure that this guy is really even named George Santos, he's also just a terrible person all on his own. Take this insanity, where Santos first talks about needing to recognize the children of undocumented immigrants as Americans, and then flip-flops in the same answer to say it's actually a shame the government can't revoke people's citizenship.
Even though they come from an act of error and arrogance and illegal lawlessness, we still need to recognize them as Americans, as it is the law of the land, where we need to end the anchor baby policy. You cross the border, you skip the border, whatever you call it, you overstay your visa and you have a kid, yeah, that's a problem. But moving forward, we end that, and that's also in my proposal for immigration reform. But unfortunately, we can't revoke citizenships. That's just not how it works, unfortunately, and that's bigger than I am. And
if it seems like George Santos is just making this up as he goes along, it's because, for the most part, he is. At the same event, Santos gave his thoughts on how to solve veteran homelessness. His answer? Just force people out of their homes and give those places to veterans. I'm really serious. Watch this.
My team identified a recent report as far as north as 75,000 in the tri-state area alone. I can't even imagine what it's nationally. I mean, honestly, I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think it should be a statistic. I don't think it should be a problem. It's common sense. They come home, they don't have a place to go. You kick out anyone and you put them or build something or create programs. But that's it, folks. Thank you very much.
Santos's victory was just one of the upsets that rocked New York's Democrats in November. And now his lies and potential fraud are reminding the American people why they simply can't trust Republicans. The House GOP's first act as a majority party could be the disgrace of allowing Santos to take his seat in Congress. And it would make painfully clear how little the GOP cares about governing. It could also set Kevin McCarthy up for another unwelcome development. If Santos is charged with a crime and forced to leave Congress, his seat will likely flip Democratic. That would bring McCarthy one seat closer to losing his speakership before the 2024 elections, and bring our nation one step closer to a constitutional crisis. If you made it to the end, thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like and consider subscribing. And leave a comment below so you can let me know what I should cover next.